The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions, and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You are listening to Two Beards Talking. I am Billy Mays.
I am fucking somebody.
You gotta be quicker on your feet, man.
Well, I was gonna go with Willie Mays Hayes, but
Billy Mays and Willie Mays Hayes?
Yeah.
That'd be a hell of a show right there.
I was gonna go with that, but
That'd be a hell of a show right there.
I'm not dark enough to be Willie Mays Hayes.
Of course, you know exactly who we are. I am Daniel Sanders, and joining me is Matt Lassiter.
Yeah, that's me.
And it doesn't sound like he has his coffee, so I'm not going to kill him.
No, I've got a crispy.
Oh, you got a crispy, okay.
Yeah.
I have a crispy as well.
Drinking the crispy today. It's not quite coffee 30.
No, that won't come until probably about 5 minutes into your shift tonight.
No, I'll probably drink a cup of coffee about 20 minutes before my shift. And then I just don't drink coffee at work because I don't need to have that much energy. Then they're going to expect me to do shit.
Oh, man. So like we always do at the start of Two Beards Talking here, we want to give a big shout-out to the troops, to the men and women serving overseas and on the home front. We appreciate everything y'all are doing for us. Keep up the good work. Come home safe. We're all rooting for you here back home.
Yeah. And then about the pandemic thing, fuck them.
Yeah, no.
I don't care anymore.
As a matter of fact, you know, it's no secret now. I've got Coronades, and you know, with the exception of aside from the fever, and then a few days ago for like a day, my fucking throat was killing me. Aside from that, nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. Nada.
Well, damn. It's almost like we're being lied to.
Yeah, but good old Meemaw Ivy here in Alabama, she gonna make sure everybody wears their masks.
All right, I'm going to say this on air, so you know this is how serious you know I am, because I'm going to say it on air. If Meemaw Ivy runs for a second term, I'm voting Democrat in the governor election.
You're not gonna do a write-in?
Nope, I'm just going to vote Democrat.
Nah, do a write-in.
No, I'm going to make sure that this woman is out of office.
I think she's already done that to herself.
Yeah, because everybody's going to vote Democrat.
I don't think everybody's going to vote Democrat. I just think they're going to not vote for Meemaw Ivy.
Which would give the Democrat the win. So, yeah, there you go.
But, yeah, she's making sure everybody is going to wear their mask here in Alabama. Everybody's going to wear it. But here's the thing about it, and you and I have already discussed this. Like at Walmart, for example, says you have to wear a mask. Walmart has made it mandatory now. You have to wear a mask. Didn't say what kind of a mask.
Exactly. I could wear a Batman mask.
Or do like I suggested to you earlier. Get you a Donald Trump mask from a Halloween store. Wear that.
No, we'll see. The other day, yesterday when I went to Walmart, I put my mask on, but I wore it like a chin strap.
Yeah.
So technically speaking, I was wearing my mask.
Yeah.
I just wasn't wearing it the way they probably want me to.
I mean, there are no set guidelines or anything on their displays that say how you're supposed to wear the mask, what kind of mask you're supposed to wear. All it says is all staff and customers are required to wear a mask.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get like the Batman mask, and I'm going to wear it, and then I'm just going to walk around Walmart, and when an associate comes up to me and says something, I'm just going to turn around real fast and go, "I'm Batman," and walk away.
I'm Batman. And that's all you're allowed to say. You cannot say anything else. If anybody says anything to you, I don't care if they ask you what time it is. You have to say, "I'm Batman."
Video coming soon.
Yes. And once I get my negative test results back, we're doing that. We're filming it.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun. Gonna get kicked out of Walmart hard.
Wouldn't be the first time.
No, it would not. They frown on playing hide and seek in Walmart.
They frown on playing hide and seek. Apparently they frown on if you go up to the cash register and get like a candy bar and then try to put it on layaway.
Yeah, they don't like that either.
Yeah, they frown on that. Going around and putting boxes of condoms in old people's shopping carts when they're not looking, they frown on that.
You know what really pisses them off? Is when you get like a buggy and you put like $100 worth of ice cream in it and just leave it in the middle of an aisle somewhere and just walk away. They really don't like that.
Okay, that is, I mean, you know, yeah, if you're trying to get kicked out of Walmart, that's one way to do it. But I mean,
they frown hard on that one.
You know, generally what I do doesn't lead to, you know, what could potentially be criminal charges.
Well, I mean, actually, at that point, they're not. That's not even a front. At that point they've stopped frowning. They're more scowling at this point.
My favorite thing to do is just stand in one place for a really long time, wait for an associate to come up and ask me if I need help, and then I'll just look at them and freak out and go, "Why can't you leave me alone?"
My favorite thing to do is find rich white women that act like they're better than everybody else, and then ask them for help because I pretend like they're Walmart associates. That really takes them down a notch or two.
Oh, man. Public service announcement: we do not condone or promote the ideas and actions that we are telling you to do.
We do not condone or the actions that we've done ourselves. We here at Two Rear Talking realize that we are assholes.
We need a disclaimer like they had on Beavis and Butthead. Some of the things they do could cause a person to get hurt, expelled, arrested, or possibly even deported.
Yeah. I'm sure if they could kick me out of the country, they would have done it by now.
I'm sure they're just looking for a reason.
Like, if they could send me to some shithole, they would have already done it. They'd have been like, all right, get the fuck out of here. You go to this shithole country.
You're grounded. Go to your room.
You're grounded. Go to Iraq. Fuck. Well, do I at least get a gun?
Yeah, when you get there, they give you one. It's required.
Well, yeah, but I feel like there's a step I'd be missing. That whole signing up for the military, going to basic training.
No. I'm talking about the civilian populace.
Oh, really?
You know, it's kind of like in Texas when what was that episode of Family Guy when they went to Texas and
you buy
a bottle of liquor and you get a gun.
Yeah.
Wait, is that a store special? Nope, that's just a thing here in Texas. You buy a bottle of liquor, you get a gun.
Well, it would kind of remind me of like Robin Hood Men in Tights. You're in the line. It's like, get your arrows and your quivers and your pantyhose. Except it's you get your M4, your magazines, and your body armor.
Yeah, no. If you show up there and you're not in the military and you don't have an AK-47 strapped to your back, some sheikh is gonna walk up to you and, what are you doing? Why do you not have an AK-47?
That was oddly African.
Middle Eastern.
Did you forget how to Kurdish?
But I mean, they'll do it. Dude, it is the strangest fucking thing I've ever seen. They walk around with AKs on their fucking back like we carry goddamned umbrellas over here.
Well, it's safer that way.
You know, we expect a rainy day. They expect to get shot at.
I expect to get shot at some point in my life. Like I said, I am an asshole.
The thing about it, they don't have pistols. Like, only at least when Saddam was in power and everything, before we popped his head off, only like upper, higher level military had pistols, and they were execution weapons.
Yeah.
Like, I have seen firsthand an Iraqi detainee that we had stare down the barrel of an M16 and nothing. But the second they put a freaking pistol to his head, he pissed his pants. Or his dress, or whatever he was wearing.
Yeah. Pistols don't fuck around.
Like, it was the damnedest thing I've ever seen. But we won't talk about that.
But we digress.
Oh, man. Speaking of guns, the Missouri couple, the McCloskeys, I think that's their name. McCloskey's?
I think it's McCloskey's.
They, Ken and Karen from
Ken
St.
and Karen.
Louis.
Yeah.
The attorneys that defended their home that was in a private gated community when the protesters became no longer protesters and rioters, and they broke down the gate and stormed this gated community, and they defended their property with their guns. Just a few days afterwards, a warrant was issued, and the firearms were taken from their home. And now the governor of Missouri is saying that if any charges are brought against this couple for defending their home, he is going to pardon them. He's already announced if any charges come up, he is going to pardon them.
Hey, finally a governor doing their job.
Yeah, a governor doing gubernatorial things.
And if that was Cuomo, he would have already put them under the jail.
Yeah, he'd have put them in a fucking nursing home is what he would have done.
Well, he'd have made sure they had COVID-19 first.
Well, yeah.
He would have infected them with COVID-19 and then put them in a nursing home.
Yep. And, I've been seeing this meme floating around now. It's the picture of Osama bin Laden, and it says, killed less New Yorkers than Governor Cuomo.
That's accurate.
It is.
It's
That's scary.
But to hear Dr. Anthony Fauci tell it, New York did the right thing. They did it right.
No.
Which is why 46% of this country's deaths came out of New York. But they did it right.
No.
That's what Dr. Fauci said. They did it right.
No.
Got to defer to the experts here.
I mean, are we talking about the same Dr. Fauci who has flip-flopped multiple times about the deal with the masks? At one point the mask is not effective, and then the next time he comes around, the mask is what you have to do to be safe and protect others? Or that same Dr. Fauci?
Oh, I bet I know exactly why he said that Governor Cuomo did it right. Because he's from New York. He's fucking pandering. But, in the beginning, they knew that, apparently, they knew there was going to be a run on masks and it was going to be a shortage. They wanted to make sure that the medical professionals get them. That's why they told us that we didn't need them. So, yeah. I don't trust anything that Fauci says. I just don't.
And, the people that are walking around wearing whatever they can for a face covering. I saw this one hack where this woman took a sock and cut it into a mask. The neck gaiters that people are wearing as a freaking mask. Just all of the shit that I've seen, none of that works. Those are not designed to stop germ particles. What the fuck are you doing other than walking around looking like a fucking retard?
And, not to mention that, the fact that people aren't wearing the mask properly anyways. They'll get these surgical masks.
Oh, you mean the ones that have the flexible metal bar on one side of the edge of the mask that's designed to go at the top so that way you can actually press it down and form it around your face so that way it stays in place. Talking about those masks?
Yeah, but not even just that. Like, they'll get those masks, and those are supposed to be single-use masks.
Yeah.
And they'll wear them for a week.
Yep.
Okay, well, guess what? All the fucking bacterial microbials that you sucked into that fucking mask or blew into that fucking mask for a week, well, guess what? Now you're breathing it in.
Yeah. And, again, we have to keep talking about it because people are still fucking doing it. They put their mask on. They put their gloves on. They go in the store. They grab the buggy. And then they're grabbing shit off the shelves, putting shit back on the shelves.
Touching their face, touching their mask.
Touching their mask, adjusting the mask. All of this other shit. You're not doing anything to help the situation.
No. You're really not. You want to know the best thing you can do? If you're that scared,
stay the fuck
stay at home. Stay at home. And when you need groceries, do the Walmart app, order your groceries, have them bring them out to you, and then stage 4 decontaminate those motherfuckers before you take them in the house. And there you go. Don't even go in the fucking store if you're that goddamn scared of it.
Exactly.
Me, I'm not that worried. I look at it this way. I'm either going to die or I'm not going to die. Those are my options.
It's either going to be your problem or it's not.
Yeah, it's either my problem or it's suddenly not my problem anymore. So fuck it.
Pretty much, yeah. And,
so I don't like the whole mask thing.
The thing about this whole COVID thing, yes, I have the COVID. I've got the coronades. And maybe I'm one of the people that's asymptomatic. I don't know. I've had a couple of symptoms. Nothing really bad. Worst thing I had was 102.6 degree fever. And even that, I was just fucking irritated because when I was sitting in the doctor's office, I was freezing my ass off. Aside from that, I've not... like I said, maybe I'm one of the asymptomatic ones. Or maybe it's not as fucking bad as they made it out to be.
Well,
Rona.
I mean, if you had 2 symptoms, you can't really be asymptomatic, but...
I mean, aside from the fever, aside from a sore throat for a day, just a few days ago, nothing. The whole change in smell and taste and all that. No, haven't had any of that. Nothing different from what I would have if I had like a cold or a flu or something.
Yeah. Which, I've never had the flu, so. Also never had a flu shot.
Oh, thanks to the fucking military losing my shot records right after boot camp, I'll be surprised if I ever get the fucking flu again.
Get about 18 flu shots?
I literally got the flu shot 3 times in 1 month. I will be surprised if I ever get the flu again. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe all of the fucking shit they pumped me up with in the military to combat all the damn diseases overseas that we were facing. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
Except for that whole methaquin shit, that methaquin they gave you for malaria that didn't even fight the strain of malaria you were going to see in that part of the world.
Nah, I don't know. I was a fucking Lance Corporal at the time. Lance Corporal don't know.
Lance Corporal takes methaquin and doesn't bitch about it.
Lance Corporal stood in line and did what he was told.
Yeah, it sounds about right. I want to get to the lighter side of the news. I want to talk about the true heroes among us.
The true heroes among us, yes.
The true heroes among us.
Yes. So, our listeners out there, you may have seen this in the news already. Just a couple of days ago, a couple of black women. I don't have their names yet. Of course, I haven't really been looking for them either.
One of them was like, it was like Bethany or something like that.
6 to 1, half a dozen the other, doesn't matter, whatever. So, these 2 black women They crossed over the barricade surrounding the Black Lives Matter mural that was painted on the street in front of Trump Tower in New York, and took black paint, began pouring it on the street, and began trying to deface the mural in protest to Black Lives Matter. These are two black women, mind you. And they are dumping black paint, trying to deface the mural, screaming all of this rhetoric that Black lives don't matter, Black Lives Matter doesn't care about Black lives, so on and so forth.
One of the women has taken it a step further. She is actually calling for a refunding of the police.
Yes. While she was spreading paint on the ground and everything, she's not using a brush or anything like that. She's dumping the paint on the ground from the bucket and then spreading it with her hands, yelling, refund the police, all of this other stuff, while New York police are in the process of trying to detain her.
And you know what's funny? They took her to jail because of bail reform. It wasn't a violent crime, so they had to let her go. As soon as they let her go, she went and did it again.
Yep.
She was like, fuck this, I'm doing it again.
So
and so they had to let her go. They're going to let her go again.
Now, here's the thing about it. One of our local news stations here in Alabama, they shared the story on Facebook. And anytime they share a story about anything relating to Black Lives Matter or anything like that, I cannot help but go look at the comments. Because this is Alabama. You see a wide range of comments, and most of them are from people who did not pass spelling in the second grade. And the fact that we have allowed these people to have social media accounts and just further make jackasses of themselves is a joke in and of itself. But there was one, and it was an individual commenting about how these women were doing basically the exact same thing that Black Lives Matter protesters were doing, defacing statues and monuments and all of this other stuff, but nothing is happening to them. So one of the commenters that responded to him said that, this mural was commissioned by the city. And that because it was commissioned by the city, that makes it a crime to deface it. So, being the person that I am, of course I had to pose the question to this individual. So, based on your argument that because it was commissioned by the city and therefore makes it a crime, do you also concede that the protesters who are defacing monuments, statues, anything, doesn't matter what the statue represents, or the monument, or the mural, or anything, doesn't matter what it represents, because it was commissioned by the city and placed there by the city, do you concede that that is still a crime for those individuals? And all he could do was laugh at me. He did not have a response.
He didn't have a response at all? No,
he never responded to me. All he did was just put a little laugh emoji on my freaking comment. That was all he did.
I don't have a whistle, but if I had a whistle, I'd blow it, and I'd say, circular logic, argument has no supporting evidence, 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
I think my argument, I hope you're not saying that about my argument.
No, I would say that about his argument. It's circular logic. His argument has no evidence.
I mean, he basically just exposed himself as a hypocrite is what he did. And we're seeing a lot of hypocritical bias from the media.
Yeah, that's natural. That's going to happen.
I mean, and the thing about it, one thing I noticed and a lot of people pointed out was the fact that this article made no mention of the skin color of these two women, the fact that they were African American women.
No, they wouldn't. They would not.
If you look at the couple from wherever it was in California that did the exact same thing, the headlines pointed out that it was a white couple defacing the mural, and they're now being charged with a hate crime.
Yeah. That's the thing. This is the thing that proves that has nothing to do with race, because you have black conservatives calling out Black Lives Matter. You have white progressives that are screaming in the faces of black cops about Black Lives Matter.
And that was the other thing too. Was there was a white woman who commented on the post, was responding to someone else's comment, basically condemning these two black women for what they did, and calling the original. I don't even remember what the original person said about it. But this white woman's response to it was, the original commenter had said something to the effect of, what's illegal about it? They're protesting the exact same way that other people are protesting, blah, 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 blah. And this white woman's response to it was, well, what is there to protest about human rights? All of this other stuff, called the individual racist and so on and so forth. And I couldn't help myself. How? You support Black Lives Matter. Okay. I supported Black Lives Matter when it first came up because the idea was Black Lives Matter just as much as any other life, which is true. But Black Lives Matter does not mean that anymore. The organization Black Lives Matter is now trying to push the idea that black lives are better than everybody else. You don't like the fact that I'm saying that? I don't give two shits. The truth fucking hurts.
Well, the actual Black Lives Matter movement now is becoming a Marxist movement. That's the leaders of the organization are self-admitted trained Marxists.
But
so it's not about black lives, it's about toppling the systems we have in America.
In a nutshell, my response to this woman basically was the fact that she's willing to condemn these two black women for protesting the truth, telling the truth, and protesting in the exact same manner that Black Lives Matter supporters would protest, shows that she knows nothing of the Black Lives Matter cause, nor of constitutional freedom.
That shit doesn't matter. If it doesn't fit their narrative, it doesn't matter.
I don't give a flying fuck if it fits their narrative or not. It's the fucking truth. Get the fuck over it.
Well, that's the thing, though. The truth is only the truth if it fits their narrative. If it doesn't fit their narrative, then you're a Nazi. You're a bigot. You're racist. Well, how dare you?
You know what? If the shoe fucking fits, then do svidaniya, comrade. I don't give a flying fuck.
Yeah, people are stupid. They're always going to be stupid. It doesn't matter how technologically advanced we get. Actually, I say the more technologically advanced we get, the dumber people get, because they have to use their brains less.
I was reading yesterday, and I came across this quote from Isaac Asimov. And it says, "Anti-intellectualism has been a constant thread winding its way through our political and cultural life, nurtured by the false notion that democracy means that my ignorance is just as good as your knowledge."
Yeah, pretty much.
That is the society that we have become. We are no longer a society of knowledge and understanding. We are now a society of moral and emotional is more important than factual.
And we're also a society of instant gratification.
Yeah, exactly.
That's one of the reasons I hate social media so much.
We have, the best way I've seen it summed up is an older picture. It's an older picture of a kid laying in the floor at the grocery store throwing a temper tantrum, and it said on the picture, "Do you remember this?" this generation. And then the next picture it shows is a group of young adults, early 20-somethings doing a lie-in a street somewhere. And it says, they've grown up.
Well, that's kind of like that's like a false conflation. I mean, throwing a fit in a grocery store is one thing. That what you just described was a nonviolent protest.
Yeah, I get that. But I mean, at the same time,
nonviolent protest.
No, there's nothing wrong at all with a nonviolent protest, provided, like, the lie-in that they showed, they were in the middle of a fucking street.
Yeah.
Now, if they had the permit to protest and lock down the street for that, by all means, good on them. If it's a bunch of fucking idiots like you see who just march out in the middle of a damn busy-ass freeway and start blocking traffic because they feel like that's the only way their voice is going to be heard, if you get your ass run over, that's on you. I played Frogger. I know better.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things that, like, an effective protest is supposed to inconvenience the population. It's supposed to make you think, okay, well, they're putting their life in danger. Why are they putting their life in danger? And then you think about it and you come to your own conclusion. As long as they're not blocking EMS or any emergency service like a fire truck or anything like that, then there's nothing wrong with it.
But that's the problem, is they're doing shit like that.
Mm.
You know, like,
Yeah.
they did it with the fucking chop.
Yeah, well, saw how that worked out for them.
Yeah, and now there's multiple murders up there that will never be fucking solved.
No, they're not gonna figure. They're not even gonna try. I mean, I love the like. I'm very much liberty minded, and I don't like I'm not on board with everybody that's like, oh, look what they're doing in Portland now. They're snatching people off the street. I'm not on board with that. But I find it hilarious that they are saying that that's what Nazi Germany did, and trying to compare us, like the DHS and stuff like that, snatching protesters and rioters off the street. Well, not even protesters, rioters off the street, as Gestapo-esque tactics. I find that funny because if you really want to get a good glimpse of what Nazi Germany looked like, you don't need to be looking at America. You need to be looking at China.
Keep expounding on that, because I'm trying to find an article that goes in line with what that is. What we're talking about here.
But yeah, so they're talking like, oh yeah, it's Gestapo-esque tactics that you're snatching people off the streets in unmarked vehicles and holding them for hours. And I'm like, yeah, but did you ever stop to think that maybe they're snatching informants off the street? Maybe those people are actually informants. That's how you deal with an informant or an asset that you have in a hostile environment. You snatch them up, you black bag them, you get the information you want out of them, you let them back into the population to go get you more intel. They're not thinking about it like that. They're just thinking, oh, my rights. Well, we don't know that anybody's rights are being fucking disturbed in that. But if you want to look at Nazi Germany, just look at China with the concentration camps of the Uyghur Muslims. They're torturing Uyghur Muslims. They are they are taking organs out of them for black market organ donation. That's Nazi Germany.
All right, here we go. Now this is from the ACLU. It's dated December 31st, 2011. President Obama signed the National Defense Authorization Act into law today. The statute contains a sweeping worldwide indefinite detention provision. While President Obama issued a signing statement saying he had serious reservations about the provisions, the statement only applies to how his administration would use the authorities granted by the NDAA, and would not affect how the law is interpreted by subsequent administrations. The White House had threatened to veto an earlier version of the NDAA, but reversed course shortly before Congress voted on the final bill. President Obama's actions today is a blight on his legacy because he will forever be known as the president who signed indefinite detention without charge or trial into law. That was part of the NDAA law that he signed, and that is what is happening up in Portland right now.
That is my favorite thing. The fact that Obama signed it into into law, and now you want to it was fine when he signed it. It was okay for his administration to do that, but they don't think about the actual ramifications of other administrations using it. They didn't think, well, what happens when a Republican's in office and we don't agree with the Republicans, and then they start using stuff that Obama put in place against us? They don't think about that. That's why I say that our government has too much power. The executive branch has too much power. Yep. You gave it to them. You let them have that power.
Yep.
Let them legislate away your freedoms.
That is what the NDAA does. It allows the president, without congressional approval or authority or anything of that matter, it allows the president to dispatch detaining agencies and allows these agencies to detain individuals without question, without charge, and to hold them indefinitely without trial.
Yes, he turned the 50 states into Guantanamo.
And Obama is the one who signed that into law.
Yes. Just like they want to point out that Trump has got kids in cages at the border. So did Obama. And Obama did the same thing.
And the thing about it is, we all saw that heartbreaking picture in the news of the little kid who's holding on to the cell wall, to the cell cage, and he's crying. We all saw that picture, but then at the same time, we also saw the same picture from further back that shows it's just a fucking, 8x8 wire fucking cage with an open top with a whole bunch of kids in it and a whole bunch of media standing around it taking pictures. It was a fucking staged photograph.
But yeah, they want to complain about what this administration's doing, but they don't want to bring to light the fact that past administrations did the same thing.
Oh, for the love of God, don't bring up Elian Gonzalez to people.
Yeah, their Lord and Savior, Barack Obama, did the same thing. Fucking Clinton kicked in doors to find a Cuban kid and send him back to Cuba.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm sure we've all seen that picture too. The fucking guy in the SWAT gear with the MP5 fucking barrel right in the face of Elian, and I think it was his aunt or his grandmother or something like that. She's holding on to him, and this guy's got his hand on him with his freaking MP5 barrel stuck right in their damn face.
Yeah, but it was okay because the Democrats were doing that.
Yeah, that was the Clinton administration.
Yeah.
Nobody cared about that because they were more concerned about the fact that he got a fucking blowjob from an intern at the White House.
Yeah, as long as it's the Democrats doing it, it's fine. The moment a Republican does anything, it's horrible.
Oh, yeah, it's a fucking crime against nature.
But then there's also the hypocrisy on the right where everybody on the right's like, oh, just follow the laws and you won't get in trouble. Just follow the laws and you won't get in trouble. And then they're like, well, wearing a mask is the law. And they're like, oh, this inconveniences me, so I don't want to do it.
Well, except the thing is, there is no law. I was having this discussion with somebody the other day. There is no law anywhere in the country. First and foremost, in order for something to become a law, it has to be voted on. Has to be voted on before it can be signed into law.
Except for the fact of an executive order.
Well,
those become laws pretty regularly.
Yeah, but they don't really have the same power as laws as what we think of, like, it's a law to wear a seatbelt in your car, or it's a law to have your headlights on when it's raining in the state of Alabama. Doesn't have the same authority and impact as those laws do. And that is why, they are mandates, they are orders, but they're not laws. And that is why a lot of law enforcement agencies, like Fort Payne Police Department, Chief Randy Bynum, has already said they, as a last resort, they will not be enforcing the statewide mask mandate. The only time they will enforce anything is if a business calls them up because they have an unruly customer who is causing a disturbance, and then at that time, arresting somebody or fining somebody because they're not wearing a mask will only be used as a last resort.
Yeah, but see, that's Fort Payne City. Fort Payne County is enforcing.
Well,
like DeKalb County, they're enforcing it.
Well, and
just like in Jackson County, Jackson's Scottsboro City Police said they wouldn't enforce it. Jackson County said they would.
And that right there, you've got two different agencies. Yes, one is a higher agency than the other. One's city, one's county. But they both perform pretty much the exact same job. And, it's one saying they will, one saying they won't.
Yeah, but it's backwards. It's completely backwards. The county officials, the one that swear an oath to the Constitution, are the ones that should be going, no, we're not going to enforce it. It should be the city. It should be the city employees that are going, okay, we'll enforce it.
Yeah.
But it's backwards. The ones that swore an oath are like, okay, we'll completely infringe on your constitutional rights. No problem.
And that is why I've been saying any fucking attorney worth their salt would get somebody, would have these charges dropped against somebody immediately. Because again, it's not a law, it's a mandate, it's an order.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to civilly disobey it. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do it.
I mean, you're going to wear a mask, but not going to do any good.
No, for the most part, I'm not going to wear a mask. So, like today when I went in the gas station, I didn't wear a mask.
No, you have to get a Batman mask.
Well, I mean, I'll get a Batman mask, but I'm talking about like an actual N95 or some kind of surgical. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to put that shit on. I'm gonna walk in the store. If they tell me to leave, okay, fine, I'll leave.
If anybody tries to hand me anything to use and it says 3M on it, I'm going to laugh and I'm going to throw it back at them.
Yeah, because, that shit will just kill you.
Because, let's see here. Let's see. They're in a lawsuit with the government over earplugs that they were supplying to the military that they knew were defective and did not work. Let's see. There's something going on. I want to say it's just west of Huntsville. Some sort of contaminated water thing that 3M is involved in. Yeah, I don't trust 3M at all. Not one bit.
No. Not even close to a little bit.
You hand me an N95 mask from 3M, and hell, for all I know, the thing was fucking rolling around in a fucking curing tank that's full of HIV.
Yeah, I'm going to assume the mask already has AIDS. If
Exactly.
you hand it to me and it says 3M, I'm going to be like, well, thanks for the AIDS. I'll be not partaking in this. But yeah, I don't trust 3M. You can't make me trust 3M. Sorry. Oh.
Speaking of which, I can't wait to hear back on that lawsuit about the hearing protection.
You'll get $1.
No, might get $12.
Yeah, well, you ain't gonna get $1 million, that's for sure.
No, probably not.
There's too many people in that lawsuit.
It'd be nice. And, I remember when I first saw all the advertisements for that, I thought it was a fucking scam. Because they showed the pictures of the earplugs, and I was like, I had those earplugs at one point. And I do definitely recall they did not work for shit. maybe I should look into this. So I started doing some research, and once I found out it was real, all right, let me call it this fucking agency in New York that's handling this.
Yeah.
Now they're saying it's like a fucking 5-year turnaround before they'll find out anything. Well, goddamn. By the time y'all figure out some shit and I get a check for my fucking $15, I'm going to completely forget about it. I'm going to get this check in the mail from a law firm in New York for $15, and I'm going to be, what the fuck is this about?
I mean, if you're lucky, you'll get a couple hundred.
I doubt it.
It depends on how many people's in that class action suit.
Well, I think the year range that they put on there was from like 2002 to 2013, something like that, or 2011. And, I mean, we're talking Army, Marines, Navy, Air Force. We're talking all 4 of the major branches.
Yeah.
We're talking millions of people.
Yeah, but of those millions of people, how many people actually jumped on the class action lawsuit? That's a number you don't know.
It's not even really that. It's how many people jumped on the fucking lawsuit that never fucking used the damn things. Even though they were in during that time period, they never fucking used the damn things.
Yeah, I mean, in theory, you should have only had those, I would think, if you were, shooting guns. Because the hearing protection you would need on the deck of on a flight deck would be way more substantial than just pop-in earplugs.
That is true, but at the same time, they were still issued to people.
Yeah, but
even though they didn't need them, they were still issued to people because that was the standard issue at the time. Like everybody got them, and it's because the guy riding the desk over at fucking S1 that the only time he needs hearing protection is the once every 2 years when he goes to the rifle range because he doesn't feel like going to the rifle range this year, so he's just going to put in an exemption for himself this year because he's admin and he can pull that shit off.
Yeah. I don't know how many people are going to be on that lawsuit. So like I said, you might get a couple hundred.
If I get more than $50, I'll be surprised.
Well, if you get more than $50, there you go. I don't think your hearing's that bad, so.
Every now and again, I do have my little Archer moments.
I mean, I have that, and I never joined the military.
Yeah, but that's just because you listen to too much loud music.
No, it was because I used to go hunting a lot, and what's hearing protection?
Oh, yeah, that too, yeah. Also didn't help that we were standing in your bedroom and set off a fucking CO2 grenade.
Yeah, that was fucking loud. We could have found a way to get the flash in that. That'd have been fucking devastating.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Matt and I used to play Airsoft regularly. I've given up on it. Matt is getting back into it. But when we were playing regularly, I had invested in these Thunder B CO2 bang grenades. Sound concussion grenades, essentially, is what they are. And just to describe it to you, it's basically a there's 3 main components to it. There's the core, there's the CO2 cartridge, and then there's the outer plastic shell. So the core acts just like a regular grenade. It has a spring-loaded plunger on it. You pull the pin, let go of the plunger, firing pin drops down, and it punctures a hole in the CO2 cartridge. CO2 begins filling rapidly into this outer shell, and then it causes the shell to explode. And I want to say they were rated for something like 140 decibels.
They're loud.
They are extremely loud. I had one. We were playing over at a friend's field in his backyard, and I had one go off beside me, and it scared the ever-loving shit out of me. I mean, it was probably 10 feet away from me, but it was fucking loud. Just to let you know how stupid we are, we set one off in Matt's bedroom. Went in the bedroom, we shut the door, and we dropped it in the center of the fucking room and just let it go off.
Well, that's not the whole. that's not the whole story. We had a test dummy first.
Yeah. Basically, I was teaching Matt and this other guy how to clear rooms. So we had this guy get in the room as the aggressor, and Matt and I did a 2-man stack on the door. He opened the door, I threw the grenade in, then we shut the door real quick. And then when he was complaining about how bad his ears were ringing, it's not that bad. So the 3 of us stood in the room and set off a grenade, and yeah, it was pretty fucking bad.
It was indeed that bad.
It was loud.
You never believe anybody until you experience it. Then you're like, okay, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, there was some merit to his claim.
You know, I've always told people this story. This is what would happen if you put 2 junior Marines together for a long enough period of time. If you made 2 Marines stand in a gravel pit and you surrounded this gravel pit with an electrified fence, and you told them they had to stand there and guard that little area for 8 hours. Within the first 10 minutes, these 2 junior Marines, they're going to be bored. They're going to start talking to one another, and they're going to be talking about whatever, the ball game or the stripper that gave them the drip last weekend, whatever. And then 10 minutes after that, they're going to pick up rocks, and they're going to start throwing them. Maybe at each other, maybe just throwing them over the fence, see who can get them through the holes in the fence, who knows. So we're 20 minutes in. Another 15 minutes goes by. One of them is going to bet the other one that he will not go piss on the electric fence. Okay, so now we're at 35 minutes. Another 15 minutes goes by. One of them is finally going to say, no balls. Well, you can't tell a Marine no balls. I mean, that's worse than a triple dog dare to stick your tongue on the fucking pole.
Yeah, you can't no balls people.
So the Marine that just got no balls, he's going to go over, he's going to piss on the electric fence. And now he's going to be lying on the ground writhing in pain, and the other Marine is going to be like, man, you didn't fucking do it right. Let me show you how it's done. And then he's going to go up and piss on the electrified fence. Now you've got 2 junior Marines laying on the ground, writhing in pain, less than an hour into an 8-hour guard shift.
Yeah.
That was
human nature.
I mean, it is. And that's kind of what happened here with this whole concussion grenade thing. Man, that thing was loud. Man, you're a fucking pussy. Bang! Okay, yeah, that was pretty fucking loud.
Now we all know. One of us just knows twice.
I don't think he heard the second one go off. I think his ears were still ringing from the first one.
Yeah, it couldn't have been as bad the second time around. His tinnitus was still kicking his ass. Like once you start getting the whops, it's you don't really hear anything after that.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I would not want to go through it again. But
I'd probably do it again.
I mean, I've still got a shit ton of CO2 cartridges, and I just found my core and a couple of grenade shells. So, God forbid anybody try to break into my house, because I've got plenty of non-lethals that's going to subdue somebody.
Well, it's at least going to make your ears bleed.
First I'm going to make your ears bleed with one of these concussion grenades, and then I'm going to freaking give you a damn epileptic seizure from the damn lightsaber that I've got on my pistol.
Yeah, and that's without ever pulling the trigger.
Yep.
That's just a flippable switch. Which I'm actually immune to that now. So
yeah, I've blinded you with that thing enough that it doesn't bother you anymore. I got to step up to the 1,000 lumens.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go big because that 750 ain't doing shit no more.
850, damn it.
It's even higher than I thought it was. Okay. But, well, just so you know, bad guys, I can take 850 lumens to the fucking eyeballs and not bother me. So, you better come correct with 1,000 lumens if you want to disorient.
Exactly. Yeah, I think I am going to have to go, I think I'll sell you this Streamlight that I have, and then I'm going to go pick up that other one.
Word. Because it's going to look pretty on my Glock.
I think it will. I think it'll look really pretty. I think it'll look really pretty on there.
Except for the fact I'll have to get another holster.
I mean,
Have to get an
Blackhawk
Omnivore.
Omnivore, $50.
Yeah. But I just dropped $50 on a Safari Land, so.
Oh yeah, that's right, you did.
But you know what? If I can get a stream lot, I'm okay with dropping another $50 on a Blackhawk Omnivore.
Did you ever get your holster for that, by the way? Has it come in yet?
Oh yeah, I've got it. It's sitting in my gun compartment.
And you've not brought it over to let me play with it yet? What is wrong with you?
It's a fucking holster with level 2 retention. What is there to play with?
It's a fucking gun accessory. Guns are like Barbies for us.
But it's literally just it's a matte black fucking Safari Land holster with level 2 retention.
I don't care. I still want to play with it.
And this is why people get shot.
No. I want to play with a gun. I've played with the gun already. Now I want to play with the gun and the holster.
I said what I said. This is why people get shot.
No, people get shot because they don't know how to properly use the fucking detention switch on a damn Blackhawk holster. And then you get these guys who try to do a fucking quick draw and end up shooting themselves in the leg, and then he goes, I just fucking shot myself.
Yeah, you really
Which,
you
by
really
the
gotta
way,
learn trigger discipline.
By the way, if you have not seen that video, go watch it. It's not a graphic video. I mean, you do see the guy shoot himself, but the camera's far enough away that, you know, you don't see any blood spray or anything like that. But the whole problem, the whole reason it happened, he's using a Blackhawk holster with the little side button on the face of the holster. And the way that is designed is you were supposed to index your finger as you would if you were indexing it straight down the frame of the pistol. And he was using the tip of his trigger finger to depress it. So when he drew, his finger automatically slipped into the trigger guard, landed on the trigger, and shot himself in the leg.
Yep.
And then as he's walking, or hobbling rather, back towards this camera, you hear him go, I just fucking shot myself.
Yeah, he did.
It was, it was unfortunate for him, but I laughed.
Oh, I got a chuckle out of it. I mean,
so
if you index your weapon properly, you'll never shoot yourself.
This is true. So, but we're going to have to leave it there. We are running out of time. So, real quickly, do not forget to go to our Facebook page, Two Beards Talking. Like us, follow us, interact with us. Let us know what you think. Tell us your thoughts on these two women that were, quote-unquote, defacing the Black Lives Matter mural. Do you think they should be charged with a crime? If they're going to be charged with a crime, should it be a hate crime like the white couple from California that did the exact same thing? Let us know what you think about that.
Yep, that's a good place to leave it.
Absolutely. Again, big shout out to the troops, to the men and women serving overseas and on the home front. We appreciate everything y'all are doing for us. Keep up the good work. Come home safe. We're all rooting for you here back home. This has been Two Beards Talking. I'm Daniel Sanders.
And I'm Matt Lassiter.
Thanks for listening, everybody.